guys, so it's been a really long time since I filmed and I don't even know what to do. It's been so long I don't remember like how to do any of this. I actually filmed this look before around prom season and I hated the way it turned out, so I just decided that I would just do it all over again and kind of give myself some practice to see what I want to do next week. I am going to be wearing my hair up. I will probably have a lot of bang and just something very effortless, but I suck at hair, so I just kind of tried to get it out of my face to kind of get an idea of what it looks like. I did use the Marc Jacobs foundation. I only use this on special occasions, and I will be wearing this for the wedding next Saturday, but for the purpose of the video, I obviously wanted to see how it would work, and I'm really happy with it. I don't believe this foundation has an SPF. It doesn't say on the bottle, and I don't have the packaging anymore, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have an SPF in it. I definitely recommend, if you're going to be taking pictures with a flash, that you don't use a foundation with an SPF, or if you do, it's a very low SPF. I have worn this foundation before and it is beautiful, but I definitely save it for special occasions like weddings, so this is the perfect opportunity to wear it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you next time. Bye! Hey guys, so we're going to start off with the face today. I'm going to be priming with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water and pairing that with the Marc Jacobs Coconut Primer stuff. I really like this primer. I've only used it a couple times, but it is really nice. It doesn't have any coconut scent, if you ask me, which is really disappointing, but it is really nice, and it pairs especially nicely with the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation. This is a beautiful foundation. I really like it. It has amazing coverage, and I'm going to show you really quickly here like just how good the coverage is. And I'm just blending this out with a kabuki brush. You can use a beauty blender if you like, but personally I think that with a foundation with this texture that the brush works perfectly. This is the only foundation I think I've ever found that is actually too light for my skin. That literally never happens, but I think because this one leans a little more yellow, it looks a little too light on me. But that's okay, because we're going to warm it up with some bronzer and stuff. But so I just wanted to show you how quickly I blend this out. If only it was really this fast, that would be super nice. And it definitely accentuates those super blue eyes I have going on right there. I look really sickly, which I wasn't in this video. I am right now. Like, scary. Moving on. So I'm going to be concealing. I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Weightless, whatever it is. And I actually have this in 3 different shades. I'm going to be using all 3. I'm going to be using the peach to kind of conceal the super blue and red tones in my eyes, and also prime for eyeshadow and all that jazz. I'm just going to blend that out first with the pointy side of the Real Technique sponge. And then I'm going to be going in with the pink shade, which is really nice for fair skin, and then the regular concealer shade, which I think is just the lightest pink shade that they have. And I'm also going to be blending that in with a sponge. I am going to use the reverse side of the sponge, though. I'm going to use the flat side. And just doing the same thing. In terms of coverage, this isn't my favorite, but when you layer it this way, and as far as the texture and the silkiness of it, it is weightless, so it's really nice. It's not too heavy. And I'm going to be taking the RCMA No Color Powder and really make myself look like a ghost. And I just took the same, well, no, this is a different sponge, but it's also wet. And I'm going to be baking with that powder. And I'm going to let that sit for probably about 10 minutes. And in the meantime, I think I did my eyebrows. And now we're back, and I'm going to just kind of wipe off that bake. And if you have never baked before in your life on your face, it's really nice. It makes your under eye really smooth, and it kind of just makes your pores disappear. So I definitely recommend it for something like a wedding or any other special occasion. And then I'm going to be setting the rest of my face with the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder in Translucent, making sure to blend it down my neck, because I am going to be wearing my hair up. And now we're going to turn that ghost into, well, a little more tan, ghost. So I'm taking the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer on a super fluffy brush. This is my favorite brush for bronzer. I think I've had it a good 10 years. I got it from Walmart when I was in like middle school. And we're going to be bronzing. We're also going to contour, but I like to bronze first. I think it makes your contour look a lot more natural, air quotes, natural. And then we're going in with the e.l.f. contour powder. This is half a contour palette and half a blush palette. I didn't use the other two colors in either palette, so I just combined them. And this is a Morphe brush. I'm not sure the name of it because it doesn't have a label, but it was in a set, and I can't even remember what set it was in, but I'm really a big fan of this brush. It's short, and it's pretty dense, and it fits perfectly in the hollows of my cheeks. And you can see there on the right side of my face, the first side that I did, it was a little bit choppy, so we are going to go in a little bit later and clean that up. But I'm just going to be contouring the cheeks and the forehead and a little bit on the jawline. And I'm going to take What's Up from Benefit. I actually rarely use this, but it is really pretty. And normally I wouldn't use a cream product on top of powder, but for some reason it doesn't mess it up. Like, it works really nicely on top of powder. The only thing I don't recommend is putting it on your nose. Like, the tip of my nose for some reason does not like it, and it breaks up really bad, so I just don't recommend putting the cream on your nose. This is the Anastasia highlight kit, whatever you want to call it, in Gleam, and I'm taking Crushed Pearl and Starburst and blending the two of those together to make a really nice shimmery highlight. It's not really shimmery, but it just is really glowy. And for the actual wedding, I used Prosecco Pop from Jaclyn Hill and Becca, but for this purpose, I just use that. I'm making all these faces because I don't remember this blush being this bright. It's a lot brighter on camera than it is in person in the pan, but it is still, it's pretty pigmented. I kind of forgot how pigmented it was, so I'm going to blend it out really well with a stippling brush. And this is just an e.l.f. stippling brush. Comes in handy for things like this. And now we're going to bake. So I'm doing the same thing I did underneath the eyes, just cleaning up the contour. And the more precise line you want, the longer you're going to want to leave the bake on. I just left it on while I was doing my eye makeup. So maybe like 6 or 7 minutes. And you'll see when I wipe it off how nice it is. Now I'm going to be going in with MAC Bamboo, which is my transition shade. I use this every single day. I've had this eyeshadow probably about 2 years, and it still is going strong. You can see on my nose that the highlight broke up that powder really bad, so I just don't use it on my nose anymore. And then I'm going to take Unexpected from Makeup Geek and do the same thing. This is kind of a dusty rose color. It's perfect for a look like this, where we're going to be using pinks. It's the perfect transition shade, and Makeup Geek eyeshadows are super creamy and buttery and just velvety smooth, and you need them in your life, and they're really inexpensive. Okay, so we're going to be taking one shade from this palette, and that is Half Baked, which is just like only the best gold eyeshadow I've ever worked with. I honestly cannot find another gold eyeshadow that works like this one. So I will say, I do have to wet it. You'll see here I'm wetting my brush with some Fix Plus, and this just makes it super shiny and metallic-y, and that's how I like it personally. I don't think it has enough power on its own when you use it dry, but that's just me. And then I'm going to be wiping off that bake. I do want to say, if you're using Half Baked on your finger instead of a brush, does tend to work a little bit better. Just a little tip. And you can see there that made my contour look a little bit cleaner. And this is from the Naked 3 palette. This is called Black Heart, and it's like a black eyeshadow with a purple glitter or like purple reflect. And originally I was going to use the Naked 3 palette for this whole tutorial, but I just like the other ones I used better. This palette does have very similar shades to everything that I used, but I just like the Makeup Geek eyeshadows better, personally. And I'm just putting that on the outer V and kind of into the crease. And then I'm taking any highlight shade. This one actually came from the Naked 3, but you can use just about anything. I like to use a matte highlight just because if I have any stray eyebrow hairs, it doesn't accentuate them in a bad way, so I just like to use a matte one. And I'm taking a clean blending brush and no product, and I'm just kind of buffing that out to blur it all together and make it nice and seamless. Now I'm taking the Unexpected again on a pencil brush and just kind of running that along the lower lash line on the outer edge of the eye. And we're just putting this down first because we're going to go in with that black heart shade. And if you go in with that matte eyeshadow first, it will make blending this out a lot easier. You can skip this step if you want, but I think it's pretty necessary for looks like this, that you want to be pretty dramatic. It just kind of makes the look more all around, if that makes any sense. Like, it just makes it come full circle. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, now I'm going to spray my face with my Urban Decay Makeup Setting Spray. This is the all-nighter one for combination skin. And now I'm going to line my lips with MAC Soar. This is personally a little darker than I would normally go for, and this is not what I wore for the actual wedding. I wore a really like light nude lip, and I went over that with Pink Pout from Revlon. And now I'm lining the waterline with just any black eyeliner. This one I believe is from Be a Bombshell. It came in an Ipsy bag. And I actually am lining the entire lower waterline, which I normally don't do. But I went ahead and just went for it. Go big or go home. I did use some mascara and some eyeliner, but that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye!